Lots of pedals. All right. I'm Marty Schwartz with NextLevelGuitar.com, and you know, basically what that was, we could say it's kind of in the style of The Edge from U2, which, I mean, his bag is delay. A lot of guitar players know what delay is, but for those of you that were wondering how The Edge got his sound, what he's using is you know, basically a delay pedal, and what that does is it's when you hit a note, it repeats it. It's got an echo. Okay, and the particular one that I'm using is called Line 6 DL4. So here is the Line 6 DL4. I call it the green machine, but this actually has a loop function, so I could actually play a little groove and then it'll loop it back. It's a very sweet thing to have. That's a special setting on this. So, you know, you can't use the other effects when you're doing that, but it does have a looper on it, which is great. The other thing right here, this one at the end, is the tap tempo. So no matter what, you know, I have some delay that I really like, and I'm playing with the band, and we're going to Spacey Town. I can tap in the tempo. The cool thing about that is, you know, drummers who don't have the best tempo, you can keep adjusting to their speeding up and slowing down. And maybe near the end of the night, you're having to do it a lot more. I'll leave it at that. But you just never know. So it's nice. The tap tempo feature is crucial. I tend to use really only one or two settings on the delay. But right here, these are all, every time you hear that click, it's a different sounding delay. And I really only covered about 2 or 3 of them right here. And then these are all the modification knobs that you can adjust. How many times you want that delay to repeat, how fast you want those delays to be, how spread out. I mean, it's all dialable. And then the other thing, when you have a delay that you found, like let's say you're just messing around with the knobs, and you get that magic sound, right? Sometimes it takes a while. You find that one sound that you just never want to forget it. It's got, this is a tap tempo. You can't do anything with that, but these 3 can be presets that will memorize that chant or that sound that you found. What I like is the fact that I can tap the tempo out. So if I turn my delay off, and let's say I'm playing this chord, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I can tap down the tempo, so the repeats are going to echo in the right tempo with the tune. Okay. The other part of this lesson that I want to talk about is kind of creating a bed of sound, which would kind of be like in the more of an art rock or like an indie rock kind of vibe. And what's really cool is if, you know, there's certain chords that you can play, and then especially when you add an effect like delay, you can actually, it's called a pad, and you can just actually lay on that chord while another guitar player or a bass player is going through a total melodic bass line, and you're just staying on that one chord. Now, there's only certain chords that are going to work really well for that, and I'm going to talk about one of them here. I'm basically playing an E minor chord with an A note on top. Okay, so the best term for that would be an E minor 11, I think is what we're going to call that today. It's got that suspended sound. It's got like a real airy sound to it, okay? But I'm thinking of it really as just kind of an E minor chord. Like that, okay? Now, the other thing I'm doing is I'm going to turn my delay on, okay? And then if I have my tempo like this, some notes in E minor as a bass player. turned that loop off, basically, I was playing just up the E minor scale. 0, and then what I did was I went to 3, and then I went to 5, and then I went 8 and 7, and all of that creates kind of a, you know, like a little melody, and then while I was just laying a bed of one sound. What that sounds like without the delay. I'm not even doing a particularly specific pattern. I'm just kind of picking the notes, like. So when you're in an E minor vibe, you can throw that in there, and then with delay, it's a great way to create a texture as opposed to a specific guitar part. Another thing you can do with delay is you can do, like, you know, single note. You can get real atmospheric with, like, your single note stuff. It's really cool, actually. Like, let's say you're not a shredding, you know, lead guitar player. You know, if we were in E minor, we could take the E minor pentatonic scale, and with delay, I mean, you can do some really wild stuff. Like, I could just literally, I'll go from the 3rd fret and slide it up to the 12th fret. Okay, and you can hear what that sounds like. First, I'll do it without the delay. Something like that, right? If I have the delay going, now all of a sudden I kind of have some atmosphere going on. Now I'll just take the 12th fret here and the 15th fret on the E minor pentatonic, and then the 12th and 15th on the high E as well. So all of a sudden, I mean, I was literally playing like really elementary stuff, but when you add and I'll go to a more clean echo. So I find it's obviously it's fun. You could lock yourself up in your room and, you know, just mess around with those delays, but you'd be surprised. Like, you can take something really simple, and if you just kind of find that right little spot and the right little setting. But anyway, the delay is a great device that you can take really simple things and make it sound really lush. I'm Marty with Next Level Guitar. Come check out the site for a lot more stuff, even stuff not on YouTube, which is always nice. And yeah, hope you're enjoying yourself like I am, and we'll see you next time. Later.